Daylight Saving Time, DST, also referred to as Daylight Savings Time or Daylight Time, United States, Canada, and Australia, or Summer Time, United Kingdom, European Union, and others, is the practice of advancing clocks, typically by 1 hour, during warmer months so that darkness falls at a later clock time. The typical implementation of DST is to set clocks forward by 1 hour in the spring forward, and to set clocks back by 1 hour in the fall back, to return to standard time. Conversely, it is not observed at some places at high latitudes, because there are wide variations in sunrise and sunset times, and a 1 hour shift would relatively not make much difference. Industrialized societies usually follow a clock-based schedule for daily activities that do not change throughout the course of the year. The time of day that individuals begin and end work or school, and the coordination of mass transit, for example, usually remain constant year-round. In contrast, an agrarian society's daily routines for work and personal conduct are more likely governed by the length of daylight hours 8-9, and by solar time, which change seasonally because of the Earth's axial tilt. The manipulation of time at higher latitudes, for example Iceland, Nunavut, Scandinavia, and Alaska, has little effect on daily life, because, compared to lower latitudes, the length of day and night changes more extremely throughout the seasons. In 1810, the Spanish National Assembly Cortes of Cádiz issued a regulation that moved certain meeting times forward by 1 hour from 1 May to 30th of September in recognition of seasonal changes, but it did not change the clocks. Russia and a few other countries waited until the next year, and the United States adopted daylight saving in 1918. While most countries that change clocks for daylight saving time observe standard time in winter and DST in summer, Morocco observes, since 2019, daylight saving time every month but Ramadan. During the holy month, the date of which is determined by the lunar calendar and thus moves annually with regard to the Gregorian calendar, the country's civil clocks observe Western European Time, UTC+0, which geographically overlaps most of the nation. Also, during the autumn shift from daylight saving to standard time, the hour between 1 o'clock and 1:59 and 59 seconds occurs twice in any given time zone, whereas, during the late winter or spring shift from standard to daylight saving time, the hour between 2 o'clock and 2:59 and 59 seconds disappears. The dates on which clocks change vary with location and year, consequently, the time differences between regions also vary throughout the year. For example, Central European Time is usually 6 hours ahead of North American Eastern Time, except for a few weeks in March and October/November, while the United Kingdom and mainland Chile could be 5 hours apart during the northern summer, 3 hours during the southern summer, and 4 hours for a few weeks per year. Mexico observed summertime daylight saving time starting in 1996. Religious Jews prefer shorter DSTA, due to DST delaying the time for morning prayers, thus conflicting with standard working and business hours. Furthermore, they detected, through analysis of over 3 million real-world charitable donations, that loss of sleep inflicted by the transition to daylight saving time reduces altruistic giving compared to controls, being states not implementing DST. As explained by Richard Mead in the English Journal of the American National Council of Teachers of English, the form daylight savings time, with an S, was already in 1978 much more common than the older form daylight saving time in American English. The change has been virtually accomplished. The name of local time typically changes when DST is observed. For example, the 2007 change to DST rules in North America required that many computer systems be upgraded, with the greatest onus on email and calendar programs. However, even if UTC is used internally, the systems still require external leap-second updates and time zone information to correctly calculate local time as needed. A move to permanent daylight saving time, staying on summer hours all year with no time shifts, is sometimes advocated and is currently implemented in some jurisdictions such as Argentina, Belarus, 169, Iceland, Kyrgyzstan, Morocco, 51, Namibia, Saskatchewan, Singapore, Turkey, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Yukon. Although Saskatchewan follows Central Standard Time, its capital city Regina experiences solar noon close to 1300 hours, in effect putting the city on permanent daylight time. Similarly, Yukon is classified as being in the Mountain Time Zone, though in effect it observes permanent Pacific Daylight Time to align with the Pacific Time Zone in summer, but local solar noon in the capital Whitehorse occurs nearer to 1400 hours, in effect putting Whitehorse on double daylight time. In the United States, several states have enacted legislation to implement permanent DST, but the bills would require Congress to change federal law in order to take effect. Advocates cite the same advantages as normal DST without the problems associated with the twice-yearly time shifts.